It's been 4 days since the former president, Flight Lieutenant Jerry John Rawlings, passed on. And since he passed, there has been an outpouring of concern, outpouring of love, outpouring of shock by different sections of the general public. Now, as part of efforts to ensure that he is well celebrated, the State Protocol Department has essentially open a book of condolence to be signed by all manner of persons, including former presidents, including ministers of state, including members of our judiciary, including the chief of staff, as well as the general public, from today, Monday to Friday. Now, the book of condolence has been set up in the foyer of the Accra International Conference Centre. Now, mind you, this book of condolence has already been signed by President of the land, Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo, and Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, the Vice President. Now, down this red carpet, we will be expecting a number of dignitaries to walk in and sign the book of condolence, pen down a few, words in honor of the former president. We also know that the family of the late president, his children, Zaneto, Kimathi, Aminaya, Santua, and some leadership of the family are expected to be here to receive some of the dignitaries. Now, right there is a photo of the longest serving president of the land, Jerry John Rawlings. Now, for many people, he represented all manner of things, different types. All manner of things for them. But one thing cannot be denied. His charisma and his role in the development and, establishment of the Fourth Republic. The president, in his words, which he penned down in the Book of Condolence, essentially expressed, appreciation for the role that the former president played in the establishment and development of Ghana's Fourth Republic, and also expressed his happiness with their friendship. The vice president, on his part in signing this book, essentially mentioning that history will not forget the role that His Excellency Jerry John Rawlings played in his establishment of Ghana's Fourth Republic. On today's edition of the Citi Newsroom, we'll bring you all the various angles as we continue to mourn the passing of His Excellency Jerry John Rawlings. In a shot is former President John Dramani Mahama with his wife, Lodina Mahama, coming to pay their respect and sign the Book of Condolence that has been put up by the State Protocol Department. They are approaching, some elders to also pay their respect. Now, he would be part of a long group of special guests who are expected to sign the Book of Condolence today. He's just walked past the family, some children and family members of the late former President Jerry John Rawlings. He's been directed to the Book of Condolence. Just taking his seat. He has already signed the Book of Condolence by the party founded by Flight Lieutenant Jerry John Rawlings at the NDC headquarters, and he's now signing the Book of Condolence put up by the State Protocol Department. He will be the first of two former presidents to sign the Book of Condolence today. All look on as former President John Dramani Mahama signs the Book of Condolence for the longest serving head of state of the Republic. So the Book of Condolence, as set up by the State Protocol Department, was open officially at 9 a.m. Now, 10 minutes afterwards, we saw the first high-profile individual of the land, the Speaker of the land, Mike Okwe, walking through into the doors of the Accra International Conference Centre, into the foyer. Now, he walked up to the family, essentially acknowledged them. Then he moves on to take a seat to pen down a few words in the Book of Condolence. Now, the second person to walk through the doors of the Accra International Conference Centre into the foyer is the Chief Justice, Kwesi Eninyeboah, who also had his delegation in tow. including a member of the Judicial Council, Stephen Adai, some members of the Supreme Court, Justice Bafo Boni, who happen to have been appointed during the era of the late former President Jerry John Rawlings, as well as Justice Doche. We have members of the Council of State now also coming in to sign the Book of Condolence. We have the prominent lawyer Samuel Okujeto taking his time to sign the Book of Condolence, as other members of the Council of State watch on.
He has ruled the longest in the history of Ghana. So he left a legacy. And we'll also say that if you look at his last years before he died, he'd been very reconciliatory, particularly to the party that was opposed to him. And that is something that all of us as Ghanaians should learn, because this country needs reconciliation. Political so-called opponents are not enemies. And when we see people demonstrating and doing vandalism in the name of politics, it is sad. We should take a cue from him. The way he reconciled with our current president, that is something that all of us should learn to copy. Ghanaians are Ghanaians. Tribe is completely irrelevant. You see, he's an Eve. He's an Angloman. He was married to an Asante princess. Isn't that something for all of us to learn to understand? That we are one nation, with one people, with one destiny. This is the legacy I think that Jerry John Rawlings has left for all of us. He is a former president of Ghana. It is the state's responsibility. But the state, of course, would do with consultation with the family. But it is the state's responsibility. Sometimes I have to caution people to appreciate that when you are elected into a position, you become public property. You are no longer your own. You are no longer your own. It is public property.
You're still watching the Citi Newsroom. Now, the burial of the former president has generated a lot of discussion, and let's bring you a report on the latest update with that particular angle of the story. Another person who, some would say, knew the former president, very well, son of former president and former vice president John Evans Atta Mills. We're talking about Sam Kofi Atta Mills, the son of the late John Evans Atta Mills. He is signing the Book of Condolence for the man who served as president and had his late father as vice president. He is penning down some few words.
Personally, I can only speak for myself, but the former president, for me, he was a hero for me, and he helped shape my future, and I'm very grateful for that. I mean, the fact that he picked my father in 1996 to be his running mate, to also be the vice president of Ghana, and he personally campaigned for my father also in 2008 and made sure that he became president. Obviously had a huge impact in my life, and today I get the level of recognition I get because of those single decisions that he made. So for me, I'm extremely grateful. I met him just a few weeks before he passed away, and he extended me that opportunity to meet him, and we had a very good discussion. So for me, I'm very sad, but I'm also grateful. He played a huge role in my life, and I can't deny that.
And in terms of the